What is up, guys, and welcome back to Bottled and Bond. I'm Ozzy, and today we are actually going to try a bottle that was recommended to me by someone named John. If you guys don't know who John is the main character. He's the main guy over at Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link to his channel, to his YouTube channel down below. My man does, I mean, he used to do a plethora of things. I want to say he's winded it down now to whiskeys and coffee, to my knowledge. He might still be doing a couple things here and there from time to time. But listen, the guy does, I mean, his channel is just filled with all kinds of content. Go ahead and check him out, good guy. So I happened to be down in Kentucky. Every year for the holidays, I make my way down to Kentucky, Louisville per se. And we also spend some time in Indiana. Well, I was down in Kentucky. Sometimes we go there mid-year, depending on, if we have a need to go there. It's only about 8 to 9 hours away from here, so it's not too bad of a drive. And this year we were there mid-year for a couple of little different reasons. And I happened to go into a Total Wine. So Total Wine is my go-to place, and when I'm down there. And when I went in there, I go in there with Dave, and I'm looking around. I turn a corner into the whiskey aisle, and I see John standing there, and I'm like, huh, is that him? So I approached him, and I was like, hey, like, what's up? Obviously, he doesn't know who the hell I am, and he's just like, what's up? Don't trip about it. I'm not tripping about it. But it was funny, we talked for a while, and I mean, he recommended me so many different things here and there, asked me a few questions of, what I was looking for. And he actually also, I want to call it gifted me, but he didn't gift me. I actually purchased it. But, he gave me a little something, which we'll talk about later on, if you can't already see it somewhere behind me. Anyway, so John told me about this bourbon that I actually caught my eye. I was sitting front row, that is bottled in Scobeyville, New Jersey, but it's actually distilled and aged, to my knowledge, in Kentucky, in the heart of Kentucky. And it is only available in a couple specific locations. So that's what we're gonna try out today. And I don't know much about this bottle. If you guys go to Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed, click the link down in the description below and check him out. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. Go ahead and hit the notification bell, and go ahead and watch this video if you want to start off, with a pretty good video of his. And like I said, the rest of his library, which is just immense. Go ahead and watch his review. Maybe he can give you a little bit more pointers on what he picked up and what he's talking about as far as what the bottle is and its release and what it's set to do. It's currently at $35, but it may spike up after the race. This, that, and the third may take some time, but there's a couple things I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and bring that bottle out. Bam! So this is Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Now here's my thing. It says Kentucky Straight Bourbon, real big, whiskey. So one may say, okay, what's the name of the whiskey? Every whiskey has a name, right? Every bourbon has a name, but it doesn't have it until down here, Bank Street. Now, this is a special edition reserve premium quality. It's aged for 5 years. Look at this unique bottle, right? And it says it in the back again, special edition premium quality. Bottled by Regent Distillers Products, Scobeyville, New Jersey. This specific one is 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. So here's my thing. Whenever I go into the World Wide Web and I Google bourbon, whiskey, Bank Street, I get Bro Brothers. Now, Bro Brothers is a newish distillery, to my knowledge, and they make a specific bottle. I've only seen one, has all three of them. Looks like it's gotten a lot of attention here lately. So that's what I get. But their website talks nothing about this, and there's no article that talks about Bro Brothers, linking it with Bank Street. If you look at the bottle itself, it's very unique. And although there may be others, the only other distillery that I've seen that makes a bottle similar to this is which is Prohibition Craft Distillery. So Prohibition Craft Distillery is also down in Louisville. And they make the famous Nulu. The only difference, if you can see this, This bottle is a little bit taller and it curves out a little bit more on the neckline. This one is almost straight and then curves out. So I don't know. Could it be Prohibition? Could it be something else? Do you recognize this bottle shape? We are currently under a shortage in a whole lot of materials in the United States. And bottles are one of them, believe it or not. The glass, the shapes, and all that good stuff, there is a shortage. So some distilleries are having to change their bottle shapes or whatever may be because of it. Whether a company that used to make it went out of business, or the materials were short, and whatever the case may be. But believe it or not, to include Heaven Hill, they've changed some of their bottle shapes because it's been a shortage of that specific bottle or material. So what I want to do today, even though I tried just a little bit at Total Wine, John, thank you so much for the recommendation. Whether I like it or not, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. 2 different YouTubers helping each other out. Go check them out. Let's open this baby up. Not too bad. Listen, man, this thing was only 35 bucks, if that. I mean, the color itself already looks delicious. Yeah, colors are delicious, if you didn't know that. Oh, yeah, man. Almost like a salted caramel toast. There's something else in there. I'm getting strawberries. I'm getting peanuts. Of course, I'm getting the honey. I'm getting the cinnamon. A little butterscotch. Huh. Interesting. That's so very interesting. A little toffee as well, man. Some cherries. This is a very interesting. It's a very interesting note, and the reason why I say that is because I don't know the mash bill to this, but I'm definitely anticipating when its final release comes out, and it's not just bottled by Regent in New Jersey, but it's actually distilled, aged, and bottled by the company that's making it. But if and when that ever happens, man, I hope they don't lose credibility. But to the nose, this is amazing. This is classic bourbon notes, man, to the nose. And I freaking love it. I like the fact how you include the classic bourbon notes of, let's say, peanut, honey, caramel, brown sugar, all these different classic notes, but then you also incorporate fruits. That's when you know a bourbon is legit. Cheers. Honey forward. Very subtle on the palate, man. Very easy to drink. I want to say that's one of the things that I noticed when I was at Total Wine and John was having me try some of this. I sit there and I was like, oh, that's dangerous. It doesn't pack a punch of flavors as some other bourbons typically do. You don't have a lot of that spiciness. You don't have a lot of that burn, as some would call it. You don't necessarily have a Kentucky hug when it comes to this Kentucky straight bourbon, aged in 5 years. But the problem with that is that it's still a 40 ABV, still at 80 proof. And the fact that you get a very mellow honey, sweet, sugar, maybe a little butterscotchy flavor, but sweet, smooth, and mellow mid palate, and in the end, done. That's dangerous. Oh yeah, man. Very easy to drink. You can sip this neat all day, every day, 50 Tyson. This stuff is just dangerous. So here's my thing. It's only 35 bucks. I always like talking about prices, man. I always listen. I'm not a multi-millionaire, right? I always like talking prices. 35 bucks. This flavor, legit. Now, the flavor that it's packing, it lacks something. It's lacking something from what I like. I like typical 92, 95, 100 proof. I love bottled and bonds. This is not a bottled and bond. So it's missing. It's not the 100 proof, and it's missing some of the flavors, some of the characters that I typically like in my bourbons. Now, that being said, I still recommend it. Why? Because it's so easy to drink. on a rainy afternoon, right? It's just so mellow, man. This reminds me of the Gold Bar whiskey, but add a few more flavors and a little bit more of a punch, and it's way better than the Gold Bar. If this flavor, this bottle for this proof with this flavor was coming in at about 50-60 bucks, I probably would still recommend it. I'm not saying it's worth that much. It may be when they finally release it and the price is probably gonna skyrocket. But right now at 30-35 bucks, man, it's just an easy sipper. You know, if you want something where, you know, you don't want that much pack, that much punch, check them out. Like I said though, this is only available currently in just a couple locations. From what John said in his video, if you click the link down below and watch his video, watch his review, you'll notice that he says that it's available in 2 locations to my knowledge in Louisville and 2 locations in Lexington. Will it become available somewhere else? Maybe. I don't know. But we still don't know who is distilling and aging this baby. If you do, let me know in the comments below and let me know what you guys thought if you've already had it. I'm Ozzy, and this is Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Bank Street. Distilled and aged by blank, you fill in the blank, and bottled by Regent Distillers Products in Scobeyville, New Jersey. And this is bottled in bond. Cheers.